Hello and welcome to GBR. Finest day racing with the guys from the MRC in the GT3 World Series Season 4. As you can see, we are still at Kyoto Driving Park. This is the Yamagawa and Miyabi reverse layout, so even more corners to contend with for this one, for a 40-minute race. And after the sprint race, it's happened for the seasons, the top 8 get reversed, so not the whole field, just the top 8. So Judge will start on pole in the Dodge. In second place it will be Mocking in the BMW. In third place it will be Hirokram, so good recovery drive there after the TV remote incident. In fourth place we have Toby. In fifth place we have Midnight. In sixth we have Dark Clark. In seventh we have Golden Brownie. In eighth place we have the race winner for the sprint, JRC. In ninth place we have we've got Leeds there. In 10th place we have Fubuki, that lucky last lap out of the chicane. In 11th place we have Brucey, and in 12th we have Fat Pickles. Only 12th for this one. James wasn't feeling too great, so he didn't want to race this one, so he pulled out for the feature race. But I'll get us to the front of the grid for this 40-minute race. As you can see there on the top right, it's a couple of more corners on top of what we were already doing, so another tyre killer. We are on the mediums and the hards for this one, just because of how harsh it is on the tyres. I think it's the only one for the feature races to be on the mediums and the hards. I think the rest are all softs and the mediums. So let's get these guys underway. 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. We know that the Dodge is good off the line. There he is already, putting a few gaps over. Mocking there in second. Mocking there going to keep second place. Hirokram in third. Toby there in fourth. Hopefully Toby can get around this corner without hitting the grass this time around. Yes, he does. Midnight in fifth. Golden Brownie in sixth. Fubuki in seventh. Ooh, getting it a little bit hairy coming out through that little chicane there. It's allowed Lees to get past, and Dark Clark now on the right hand side as they're coming into the hairpin. So Fubuki, he gained a couple I think off the line, and he's dropped back down just from one little error of going deep. JRC's dropped all the way down to 11th. That's where it started in 8th, so dropped too far back. Brucey there in 12th, but now we go on to the Miyabi circuit. A crossover between the two. Touch there leading the way as we're coming now up towards this long right-hander. There's a couple long right-handers now, so the front left will die of death fairly quickly in some of these cars. You know, with the Dodge and the Beamer were hard on its tyres for the sprint race, and same as the Jag as well. Judge there on the mediums, Mocking on the mediums, Hirokram on the hards. Golden Brownie going out deep there through the tighter right-hander of Miyabi. And now we cross back over onto the Yamagawa circuit. Toby there on the mediums, Golden Brownie on the mediums, Midnight on the hards. Leeds has got a half-second penalty. That's probably through the little chicane of Miyabi. Pick that one up. He's on the mediums. Dark Clark on the hards. Fubuki on the hards. JRC hards. Brucey mediums. Fat Pickles, he's on the hards. Not really sure what's happened to Fat Pickles. What's happened there? Oh, he's gone straight into barrier on the Yamagawa Miyabi crossover. Let's have a look from here at the back. He's just got it all tail happy coming in, and now he's facing the wrong way, looking up the Yamagawa circuit when he should be looking at the Miyabi circuit, so that's unfortunate there for Fat Pickles, not the start that he wanted. I'll jump back forward to where we were. So, Mokkina, he's picked up himself a half-second penalty, probably through the S's there at the end of the lap. But he won't be serving it this time round, he'll have to wait until the next lap. So he should have stuck in behind Judge and got that slipstream. But Toby's going for a move on Hirokram. Hirokram just closes that door in time for Toby to stick his nose up. Oh, and Toby's done it again. He really does not like this first corner. He's put it into the wall once again. So Toby's now going to have another redemption race of trying to get back through the field and see how far up he can get. Obviously we've got a long race, we've got 40 minutes, so plenty of time to do so. But back to the front, it's going to give Mocking and Golden Brownie going side by side in towards the changeover. Mocking there, not been able to keep that place from Golden Brownie, so Golden Brownie now up to third place on the hunt down of Hirokram and Judge. They've pulled a bit of a gap now over Leeds, who's a little bit on his own. He's also got Dark Clark behind him, and Fabuki, Brucey and Midnight having a nice little ding-dong battle for 7th place. Brucey's on the medium, so he should be able to try and get past these two. Looks like he's going to try for the move up the inside of Fabuki on the tighter right of Miyabi. Looks like he's going to get that move done. Will Fabuki try for the move back on the crossover? Brucey goes a little bit deep, gets the tail end all nice and happy. Now Brucey likes to drive it, but seems to have got a good drive coming up the hill towards the long right now. It's being on the outside, we saw from the sprint race, it doesn't really work, but everyone was on the same sort of tyre. Brucey being on the mediums has been able to hold off and not lose that position to Fabuki. Will Fabuki back out? No, they go side by side into the entry of the S's. Brucey there holding on for dear life. Don't get that half-second or 1.5 second penalty. Who's that in the background? I think that was Toby smashing into the wall, but Brucey goes deep coming through the last corner. JRC also nips up the inside. Midnight now slips in behind these three. Cracking little battle here for only 7th place, but not leaving anything on the table. Brucey there, he's going to get a nice little cut back, looks like, on JRC on the exit of turn 1, but JRC's going to have the inside line towards just turn 2 and 3, just keeps ahead of Brucey there. And just going to allow Fabuki just to pull a couple of car lengths ahead of these three. Brucey's now going to go for another move up the inside of JRC. Will he get this one done before the crossover? And we'll have to look through the rest of the pack, because I can see that Golden Brownie's moved up to 2nd place now as well. It looks like JRC's going to hold off Brucey there on the crossover. And JRC's on the hard tyres as well. So as I said, Golden Brownie now up to 2nd place. He's got a half-second penalty. But if he can try and put up a little bit of a gap, he might be able to just hold on to that 2nd place or 3rd when he comes around to serve it at the end of this lap. But that's going to allow Judge a nice bit of clean air that the 2nd place has swapped round. So 21.6 for Golden, fastest at the moment. I'm sure that won't be fastest at the end of the race. He's there in 5th, Dark Clark in 6th, Fabuki 7th, JRC 8th, Brucey 9th, Toby 10th, Midnight in 11th, Fat Pickles there in 12th place. Obviously, it's a long race, you can always try and work your way back up into a good points scoring position. But top 5, well, at least seems to have caught up. Yeah, he caught 1.2 seconds up the last time round. He's going even quicker this time round, so will he be able to try for a move on Mocking On the next lap, Golden Brownie's run out wide through the last corner. That's not what he wants when he's got a half-second penalty. He's dropped in behind Herocram now. He's going to lose places to Mocking now that he's served that penalty. Mocking should just go flying on past. Leeds, he's going to be on the outside of Golden Brownie coming through turn 1. Doesn't get that move down on Golden Brownie, so he's had to slip in behind now. But his tyres are quite worn compared to Golden Brownie. Runs it out wide through the chicane there and picked up another half-second. That's unfortunate for Golden. Dark Clark there, he's going to have seen that penalty and want to move forward as well. Fabuki, he's 21.8 to Judges 21.7, so Fabuki's doing similar lap times to first place, but he's on the hards where Judge is on the mediums, so decent pace coming from the guys here, even though they're fighting for 7th, 8th, 9th. We see that he's just off the back of these guys in 10th place. Same with Midnight as well. He must have had an incident on the last lap, 2 minute 33. He's dropped himself 7 seconds, and what is it, lap time wise? No, it's the same as Pickle was this lap, so yeah, it was on the last lap that he lost that time. Did Midnight. It looks like the Judge hasn't been able to use them mediums to the advantage. They're already halfway worn, so he's going to get to about 7 laps before he's going to have to come in and pit. Maybe only 6 depending. But here using them hard tyres, well, hardly ever using them hard tyres, not even really much wear on and Mocking there. The other Beamer in 3rd place. He's about halfway worn as well, so the medium's really not lasting very long. But obviously it is a fairly long lap, 2 minutes 20. Leeds there in 4th place. His tyres are about halfway as well. Dark Clark there going up the inside of Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie's got picked up a 2-second penalty now. That's going to drop him into the clutches of Fabuki. Fabuki's coming into the pit by the looks of it. Yes, he is. So different strategy there for Fabuki. First one to come into the pit. That's going to allow JRC, Toby, JRC, Brucey to go past. I think most people will get past Fabuki, so he'll have clear track when he comes out of the pit. Or will he? No, he's just dropped in behind Fat Pickles. So Will Fat Pickles trying to fend off from Fabuki, who's changed to the medium tyres. So I think Fabuki's going to go for a 2-stop here, seeing that most of the guys' tyres are looking like they're going to run out within 6 to 8 laps. He's not going to make them mediums last to the end. He's already pulled alongside Fat Pickles coming out of the hairpin, but that dodge is going to allow Fat Pickles just to stay ahead of Fabuki. Fabuki's going to try and go round the outside, is he? No, he's not. He's just had to take a different line there to avoid Fat Pickles. But I think Fat Pickles will probably concede the position. Yeah, there we go. He runs a little bit deep there just to allow Fabuki to run past. There's no point trying to fight when you've got a car on a nice fresh set of mediums. Midnight there, he's obviously sticking to a different strategy than his teammate. See which one works out for them. Brucey looks like he's not going to have probably one more lap on them tyres. I would say Toby's probably got a couple of laps. Golden Brownie, his tyre wear is pretty good for the mediums on that car so far. But he's dropped off from the front group with a few of them penalties. He would be up there in 3rd or 4th. Dark Clark there, his tyres are good. Leeds, his tyres have probably got another lap. There is going to be a change for the lead there. Herocram goes for the move up the inside, picks up a half-second penalty in doing so. Herocram now up to 1st place. Looks like Judge is going to try and make a move into turn 1. He's got a load of tyre on the front right, it's just absolutely nothing on that front left, so any right hand corner, Judge is going to struggle, but back into first place goes Judge. That's the power of the Dodge there. Down the start finish straight, he's had to pull over to the right hand side, try and cover off Hirakan going into first place, into the hairpin, and Judge does hold that one off for the time being, but I do think through the long right hander coming up in a couple of corners time, Judge is going to struggle to defend from Hirakan. Hirakan goes off into the wall. I think Judge has braked and it's just really unsettled Hirakan, and that's going to drop him down to 5th place now. So the work that Hirakan was doing on them hard tyres to keep up with Judge has just gone out the window for the time being. See if Hirakan can recover in the redemption race that he had from the sprint. Hasn't lost as much time this time around, but leads now into 2nd place. Mocking in 3rd. Looks like these guys will be pitting this time round. I don't think they're going to even make 7 laps. Dark Clark, he's got tyres to spare compared to everyone else around him here. Brown's got even better tyres than Dark Clark. Golden Brownie, he's got a couple of more laps, I'd say, on their mediums. Toby there, he's going to be pitting this time round. JRC, he's got half his front left, sorry. In 8th place. Fubuki now, he's made his pit stop, he's going purple. 1 second already, and we haven't even got close to the end of the lap. Still got another 40 seconds, so how much quicker can Fubuki go on these fresh set of mediums? Yeah, he's definitely going to do a 2-stop. He's only putting half a tank of fuel, so yeah, 1.3 absolutely flying is Fubuki as he comes down. Yes, he's getting tail end happy through that bit. Judge now comes into the pit. I think this is where you see a lot of these guys will come into the pit 6 laps in and try and make the hards last for 26 minutes or so. And we'll say with Fubuki, see what this lap time is. Is it 2:19.899? Lost a tiny bit of time in that last corner, or through the S's, but absolutely flying compared to these guys up front doing 2:22s and 23s. Actually, Hirakan's 27 last time around with that incident. JRC there's once again just going along nicely. Is JRC, same as he did in the first race, just there in the right places at the right time, and the result will come to you at the end. So Fubuki's pitted. How far is he behind? About 15 seconds, I would say, behind the leader. I don't know how much time you lose in the pit. What was his time? 2:35. So he lost about 14 seconds in the pit. So he would be close to being up the front at the moment. He's going purple again this time around. Mocking, he's pitted. He's gone to the hards. Judge has pitted and gone to the hards. Brucey has pitted, gone to hards. Midnight's gone from hards to the mediums. For Pickles, we know he has pitted a couple of laps ago and gone from hards to mediums. No, he's gone from mediums to mediums, I think, that Pickles. And Toby has gone to the hard tyres as well now. So it's only the top 5 that haven't pitted yet. As you can see on the track map, they're all fairly close to one another, and the ones that have pitted are all spread out. So we'll see if Leeds will come into the pit this time. I believe he will, because probably not going to be able to take this last corner very quickly with how limited the grip is on his front left. He's picked up a half-second penalty. That'll be because he's got no grip at all. But he pulls over to the right hand side to come into the pit. So Hirakan into first place, Dark Clark second, Golden Brownie in 3rd place, JRC 4th, but them two are having a little battle there for the last spot on the podium, but still a long way before they can even think about spraying that champagne at the end of the race. And JLC, they're just going to sit behind Golden Brownie with a 2:22.3, 2:22.7, 2:24 and a 2:21.8. So apart from Dark Clark, he obviously must have a little bit of a mistake on that lap, or previous lap. Let's drop off 2 seconds from Hero Cram. But yeah, now it's only the top 5 that, top 4 that haven't pitted. Hero Cram's gone even, Fabuki's gone even quicker this time around, 2:19.5. So knocked off another 3 tenths that time round. How is he going forward this time? We're coming up to another checkpoint. He's down a little bit on this lap, so still putting in some lap times, catching 3 or 4 seconds to the guys in front. So interesting strategy there from Fabuki. Knocking there, looks like he's dropping off from Fabuki there in 6th place. Judge in 7th. Got a bit of clean air for his Dodge, probably needs it with how high the tyre is. You don't want to be in someone else's slip because it just uses even more tyre than you require. Brucey there in 8th. He's got Leeds behind it. Leeds has got a half-second penalty. Midnight there in 10th place. He's on the medium, so he should be able to get past these two fairly easily, right up behind Leeds through the changeover between Wairi and Yamagawa. Now as they come up that hill, you don't realise how much of a hill that is until you see it from the TV cameras. But Brucey there, he's been passed by Leeds, but it looks like Midnight's going to try and just drive around the outside of Brucey. Brucey gives him just enough room there on the exit for Midnight, but up to 9th place for Midnight. He should be able to get Leeds now when Leeds serves this half-second penalty in a couple of seconds time. See the yellow bar there counting down, or sliding across to say to the guys behind it, he is going to have to serve this penalty when that bar is full. So yeah, Midnight will move up to 8th place now. Let's see, looks like he's doing a similar strategy to Fabuki. He's gone purple again, 19.405. Golden Brownie and JRC have a nice little battle here. Golden Brownie's made these tyres last fairly well for the mediums. Seeing that they're only a little bit worse than JRC, and he's on the hard tyres, so Aston Martin, absolute demon on the medium tyres, or just on its tyres in general, by the looks of it. Hero Cram there, out in 1st place, setting pretty consistent times for halfway worn tyres. Got a nice little 2.5 second gap over Dark Clark by the looks of it. And then you've got Golden Brownie and JRC, and there's Fabuki flying up behind him in the background. Will Fabuki try and make a move on these two guys beyond the next lap, I would think, with how quickly he's catching up? Obviously it means he's going to be burning through his tyres a lot more with this fast pace that he has set himself with. I think a lot of people are trying to do the one stop. So we are over halfway of the race now, and Fabuki trying the 2-stop. He's already caught up to him. Will he try and make a move on JRC in towards the S's? He pulls out to the left-hand side, does pull alongside, but not close enough to make the move there on JRC. Does pull to the right-hand side, coming into the final corner, does get JRC. And he's right tucked up behind Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie's drifting out wide, his tyres have gone. Pushed out wide, Golden Brownie has to dart behind these two to get into the pit. But what was his tyres like? Yeah, not much left on him. So Fabuki now up to 3rd place, and only about 6 seconds now off from the lead 2. Well, 6 seconds off from Hero Cram, only about 4 seconds from Dark Clark. So This strategy could be working out quite nicely for Buki, and no one's really seemed to have clocked onto it and trying to run their own race. Obviously these guys have got to run the medium tyres when they come into the pit, so it will be interesting to see. But Hillgram's tyres, they're a lot better than Dark Clark's. Obviously that Beamer seems to be good on the hard tyres, just not so good on the mediums by the looks of it. Or it could just be that Hillgram's an absolute wizard with the tyres. So JRC in 4th, Mocking into 5th place, Judge is in 6th, Midnight in 7th place, Leeds in 8th, Golden Brownie in 9th place. That's where he's come out just ahead of Brucey now, where did Brucey pit? What lap? Nope, wrong timing. I'm looking at lap, end of lap 5, Brucey pit, it looks like, by the timings. So Golden Brownie's got 4 laps of fresher hards than Brucey has, so should be able to pull away a little bit over Brucey. Pickles already halfway down on his second set of mediums. We're only 10 laps into the race, just over halfway. Toby there in 12th place. He's on the hards, but he'll probably be trying to go to the end of the race on that set of hard tyres. Back to the front. How many laps before we see Hillgram dart to the right hand side coming out of this corner? Not this time round. He's going to go round again. Dark Clark, he's going to go round. Verbuki's going grass cutting out of the last corner. He's driving a Honda, so Hondas are pretty good engines for cutting grass, but not when it's in a Group 3 car. JRC still in 4th place. Looks like he's probably going to do one more lap, I would say, by that tyre wear. See, fuel isn't too much of an issue. He will have to put some in, but the tyres wear out a hell of a lot quicker than the fuel does around this track, because there's a lot of corners that you don't have to go flat out on. So Mocking is... yeah, so Furuki has pit once. Hillgram, Dark Clark and JRC haven't pitted yet. So Fubuki's already gained that pit stop that he has had. To the guys around him, because Mocking's the next best for the guy that's pitted. But will them tyres... no, he's not going to make them tyres last. He's not got enough fuel. So he's going to be coming in again, is Mocking, for some fuel. Judge there. He's got leads behind, going sideways coming out of the Miami Yamagawa crossover. Is Midnight catching up? It's hard to tell because he had a 2:24 the last time round, so he's dropped. Looks like he probably would have dropped time to, or space to Leeds, but not Judge. Judge has a 23. So other tyre wears already kicking in for the hard runners. Doesn't look like it. Hawkins been setting pretty much identical lap times the last 3 laps round. 22.3, 22.3 and 22.2. And 22.9, which was his first flying lap. Probably still trying to get the tyres up to temperature. Being on them hard tyres, but we'll jump to the front. Will Hillgram think about coming in this time round? Yes, he does. He pulls over to the right hand side and he darts into the pit. Dark Clark, he comes into the pit. Fubuki's into the pit. JRC, he's coming in as well now. So see where these guys come out with Mocking. I think Mocking might do 1 lap. Nope, he's going to come into the pit. Nope. Yes, he is. The white line on the track fooled me there. So will these guys come out in front of Leeds? Midnight comes into the pit now as well. So quite a few guys. Oh no, Midnight and Fubuki doing a 2-stop. Leeds and Judge now going to the lead of the race. But the guys behind are all going to be on the medium tyres to the end. So they should be able to catch up these two fairly quickly. They're both on the hard tyres and they're both going side by side into the first chicane. which is just going to allow the faster guys behind Midnight, Hirakam, Clark and Fubuki to just close that gap right up. So Hirakam there, Dark Clark and Fubuki going side by side. Did Fubuki? No, Fubuki's just had a quicker pit stop somehow. Must have had a quicker in lap because they've both got pretty much identical fuel. Fubuki's got that tiny bit less than Dark Clark has, but Fubuki now up to 4th place. I would say that would be really 2nd place with Judge and Leeds being on the hards. They're just going to be gobbled up by these three fairly quickly. It looks like Hirokam's already trying to make a move on Judge for 2nd spot, but Judge is going to stick his 4-mile wide Dodge in the middle of the track and not let that Beamer past, at least through the twisty sections of Miyabi. Judge pulls to the inside. He's going to have the tight line here. He's not going to get the drive off the corner. Hirokam's going to go for the old switcheroo on the exit, but the Dodge power too much even for the BMW, which is a fairly quick car in a straight line. Hirakam will just drive around the outside now of Judge through the long right at the top of the hill. Judge there, just giving him racing room. Hirakam had to take a bit of grass cutting action there, but looks like he's going to have that move done on Judge. But you can see that Fubuki and Dark Clark have really closed that gap up to these guys up front. But now they've got to try and get past Judge. Judge goes out wide, so as Judge just ruined them tyres and got no grip. But JRC's not too far behind. Golden Brownie going a bit of grass cutting in the Aston. Toby there in 8th place. I don't think his tyres are probably going to last to the end. He might have to think about pitting. Mocking, he's just pitted as well, so he's going to be good to the end of the race. Midnight, he's going to be good as well. Fat Pickles has just pitted. Brucey pitted, I believe it looked like a lap before. And by the time it's these two are going to have a nice little battle for 11th and 12th place. I don't think they were going to be able to catch up to Midnight and Mocking. Brucey goes for the move up the inside of turn 1. Gets it stopped, not going to allow Fat Pickles underneath him. Yes, he will. Fat Pickles gets the drive coming out. Now they're going to go side by side in towards the chicane. But keeps that spot ahead. There's Brucey off Fat Pickles. So it looks like they're going to have a good old battle. But Leeds, he's just been passed by Hirakam now in the Miyabi section. But Leeds do a little slight tap there. Probably the tyres have worn out and just got no grip to hold the line that he would like through the long right-hander of Miyabi. But now Hirakam up to 1st place. Fubuki there in 2nd. Will he go for a move on Leeds? Looks like he's going to go and try. There's no point trying the old switcheroo there, but is it going to try and get a good drive out of there into this left-hander? Yes, it is. So Fubuki there gets past Leeds into 2nd place. Now he's just got the charge of Hirakam ahead, probably less than a second, I would say, between the top 2 and even top 4 is probably only about 2 seconds. Judge is about another 1.5 seconds or so behind. He's got JRC right behind him, making all sorts of squiggly coming out of the long right. It's JRC there, has dropped him back a little bit from Judge as they come through the S's. Oh no, Fubuki, he's binned it into barrier again. What happened here? Was it the same mistake that he made in the sprint race? Yeah, it looks like he's just got on that curbing and it spat him out in a different way this time round, but that's unlucky there for Fubuki. He's going to drop down to 6th place. Looks like it's going to be 7th place with Golden Brownie just slipping past. It's got damage all over the left-hand side of that car. As Fubuki, Judge comes into the pit. Where's Judge? Yeah, probably not thinking that the tyres are going to last and only lose 1 or 2 spots. Probably a good shout there for Judge. But Fubuki done the hard work, made this strategy work, and unfortunate error there, and it's allowed Hirogram now to have a nice bit of breathing room to Dark Clark there in second place. Leeds there in third. Is he going to make it to the end of the race with them tyres? I think he might be able to. They look like they're doing okay, better than Toby's tyres. He's got Mocking right behind him now. There's a few little battles up and down the field at the moment, because we've got Midnight and Judge now on his nice fresh set of mediums, with Aaron Midnight's 2 lap old mediums, or are they 3 lap old mediums for Midnight. So we're going to be struggling a little bit, but I guarantee Judge will run out of tyres before Midnight will. Fat Pickles there. He's got past Brucey. Brucey's just dropped off from Fat Pickles there. They've both done the same lap time last time round. Just looks like Fat Pickles has been able to put a little bit of gap this lap so far. Back to the front. Hirogram second. Hirogram first. Dark Clark second. Leeds in third. JRC fourth. Looks like JRC might be able to catch up to Leeds and potentially having a decent round for this one. Maybe 2 podiums for JRC. Fubuki there. He's got past Golden Brownie already. He's going to now try and catch up to the rear end of JRC. We have only got 6.5 minutes left, so 3 laps maybe, depending on when they cross the line. But I will jump on with Hirogram, and we will do a lap of these 2 tracks combined, so across the line down towards turn 1, 180 degree left-hander, and get the power on all the way to the right hand side, and then pull yourself to the left for the chicane here of Yamagawa, and then we go up this hill, and then we go into the 180 degree right-hander, which is a second gear corner, and just wait and wait and wait to get that power on, and then we come down this hill. This is where the crossover is. You will see to the right hand side where the track goes up the hill, just there, just through them blue and yellow barriers. That's where you'd go off for the sprint layout. But now we go on to the Miami circuit. It's a horrible crossover. The undulations will unsettle the car. Go into the long right-hander of Miami. This is the corner that kills the front left tyre. Just have got to preserve it as best you can. And we go into the chicane of Miami. Just a little lift here as we go through, just to settle the car, and then on hard onto the brakes into the right-hander here, and then we go back to the crossover. So another one that the undulations of the track not as bad as the first crossover, but still not the greatest. And we come up the hill now of Yamagawa towards the long right at the top of the hill, probably about 170 degrees, not 180 yet, but yeah, fairly close. And then we come down this hill through the S's. It's all about the commitment through these corners. Slight lift. There we go here. Yes, we are. A little lift there from Hirogram, just to make sure the car's settled and not run off wide and get a penalty. And then into the last corner here. And then we get the power back on. When you see them trees, that's when you actually want to get the power on to boot it down the start-finish line. And that will be a lap of Yamagawa and Miyabi. Thank you for the lap guide, Hirogram. 220.3, so a fairly decent lap. Dark Clark there, 220.4. Leeds and JRC, now they're going to be fighting for this third spot. Looks like Leeds, he's got about the same amount of time, whereas JRC, so these two are going to be battling, it looks like, to the end of the race. Fubuki, you can tell he's pushing, he's scrubbing all over the track. 220 dead. and a 2:21 and a 2:22. So I reckon Fabuki can get third place here. He's got 2 laps to do it. This lap and the next one. I reckon, Fabuki would be able to get these 2 if he can just catch up this lap around, because their 2 tyres are absolutely dead in front. Golden Brownie there in 6th place. A little bit quieter for the second stint there for Golden Brownie. He's got a nice bit of breathing room in front and behind. Mocking there in 7th. He's not got much tyre left. He's going to be struggling on the last lap by the looks of it. Toby, I don't think he's going to have any tyre left before the start of the next lap. That is going to be close. He's got Judge on the mediums coming up fairly quickly. 2:20.9, fastest lap for Judge last lap round. 2:22.6. So nearly 2 seconds for Judge to catch up on Toby last lap round. You can see that gap even just with watching these guys for a couple of corners, how much it's come down. I really do think Toby is just trying to preserve that tyre. As long as you cross the line with a little bit, you don't have to worry about pitting. And Midnight there, he's doing, well, pretty much exactly the same lap times as Judge in front of him. So he's going to capitalise on any mistake that Judge makes, but you don't want to be making a mistake like that into the wall. But Judge now goes side by side with Toby into the S. It just goes right round the outside of him, gives Toby all his dirty air as they come through. Just gonna, now he's gonna have to defend. Toby's going for the move up the inside. Is he gonna have any tyres to potentially defend, or is Judge just gonna drive right round the outside? He's keeping it there. Is Judge. Toby's still got a tiny bit. Judge gets pushed off wide. A little touch as he comes back on track, but Toby not giving much racing room on the exit there for Judge. But that's now Judge up to, looks like 8th place, and Midnight now going for the move around the outside of Toby. Gets that move done. Fat Pickles and Brucey still hard at it between these 2. But here I come out in 1st. Dark Clark in 2nd, leads there in 3rd place. JLC's been overtaken now by Fabuki. Fuel light flashing for Fabuki's and JLC, but JLC's got no tyre, same as Leeds. So they have been able to make it on to the last lap with just enough tyre to not get looked at by the stewards. By the looks of it, yeah, Dark Clark's Hillcam's got way too much fuel in the tank left. Probably could have taken a lap or so of fuel out of it, but maybe just wanted to make sure that he didn't go on to lap 18 before the end of the race. Leeds goes out wide, gets on the old dirty stuff, and that's going to give him no grip for this right-hander. And Fabuki just says thank you very much and for handing me that 3rd spot on the podium on the last lap of the race. Fabuki done not well there to recover, to catch up to, or get back into a podium position. Judge there still got Midnight. Oh, they've got past Mocking as well. Mocking's got no front left tyre, so he's really struggled this lap round. But I will jump to the front of the race for Hiragram to come round the final corner in the feature race at Yamagawa and the Abbey Reverse to claim victory for Hiragram. Dark Clark will come home in 2nd place. Fabuki with a great recovery drive. With only about 10 minutes to go in 3rd. Leeds in 4th place. JRC with no front left will finish in 5th. Golden Brownie to finish in 6th place. Judge and Midnight, who's going to get 7th place. It looks like it's going to be just the power of the Dodge will hold 7th for Judge. Midnight in 8th. Mocking in 9th place. Toby will come across to finish in 10th. Fat Pickles will finish in 11th place. And Rishi's just dropped off the back. He's got no, he's had a little incident by the looks of it. And he's got no front left tyre. That's it for the second round of the GT3 World Series. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.